Mediocrity is a choice. Why settling is destroying your ambition. Written and published by MSE Boost. Chapter 1. The Trap of Comfort. Comfort is a seductive mistress, luring us into a false sense of security and contentment. We settle into our routines, our familiar surroundings, and our established patterns of thought and behavior, believing that we have found a safe haven. However, this illusion of comfort is a trap that can hinder our personal growth, stifle our ambition, and lead us down a path of mediocrity. When we become too comfortable, we lose the drive to challenge ourselves and push beyond our current limitations. We become complacent, accepting the status quo as sufficient and convincing ourselves that we have achieved enough. This mindset is dangerous because it robs us of the opportunity to discover our true potential and experience the exhilaration of personal growth. Comfort zones are insidious because they are often disguised as stability and security. We tell ourselves that we are content with our current situation, that we have worked hard to achieve this level of comfort, and that we should be grateful for what we have. While gratitude is indeed important, it should not be used as an excuse to settle for less than we are capable of achieving. The problem with staying within our comfort zones is that we become stagnant. We stop learning, stop growing, and stop challenging ourselves to be better. We become trapped in a cycle of mediocrity, where we are neither failing nor succeeding, but merely existing. This state of stagnation can lead to feelings of unfulfillment, frustration, and even depression. To break free from the trap of comfort, we must first recognize that it exists. We must be honest with ourselves about the areas of our lives where we have become complacent and acknowledge that we have the power to change our circumstances. This requires a willingness to step outside of our comfort zones and embrace the discomfort that comes with personal growth. Embracing discomfort means being open to new experiences, taking risks, and facing our fears. It means being willing to fail, to make mistakes, and to learn from them. It means pushing ourselves beyond what we think we are capable of and discovering new strengths and abilities within ourselves. When we choose to embrace discomfort, we open ourselves up to a world of possibilities. We begin to see challenges as opportunities for growth, rather than obstacles to be avoided. We start to view failure as a necessary part of the learning process, rather than a reflection of our worth as individuals. We become more resilient, more adaptable, and more confident in our ability to navigate life's challenges. Escaping the trap of comfort also requires a shift in mindset. Instead of focusing on what we have to lose by taking risks and trying new things, we must focus on what we have to gain. We must recognize that the temporary discomfort of leaving our comfort zones is a small price to pay for the long-term benefits of personal growth and fulfillment. This shift in mindset can be challenging, especially if we have become accustomed to the security and predictability of our comfort zones. However, it is essential if we want to live lives of purpose and meaning. We must be willing to let go of our fear of the unknown and embrace the excitement of exploration and discovery. Breaking free from the trap of comfort requires courage, determination, and a willingness to take action. It means setting goals that stretch us beyond our current capabilities and taking consistent, purposeful steps towards achieving them. It means surrounding ourselves with people who challenge us to be better and who support us in our pursuit of personal growth. The path to escaping the trap of comfort is not always easy, but it is always worth it. When we choose to embrace discomfort and push ourselves beyond our self-imposed limitations, we open ourselves up to a world of possibilities. We discover new strengths, develop new skills, and gain a greater sense of purpose and fulfillment in our lives. The trap of comfort may be seductive, but it is ultimately unfulfilling. By recognizing its existence and making a conscious choice to break free from its grasp, we can unlock our true potential and live lives of purpose, passion, and growth. The journey may be challenging, but the rewards are immeasurable. Chapter 2. Redefining Success. Success is a concept that has been ingrained in our minds since childhood. We are taught to strive for good grades, land prestigious jobs, and accumulate wealth and possessions. Society has created a narrow definition of success that is often tied to external validation and material achievements. However, this limited view of success can lead to a sense of emptiness and dissatisfaction, even when we achieve the goals we set for ourselves. To truly find fulfillment and live a life aligned with our values, we must redefine success on our own terms. This requires a deep introspection and a willingness to challenge the status quo. We must ask ourselves what truly matters to us, what brings us joy, and what kind of impact we want to make in the world. Redefining success starts with identifying our core values. These are the guiding principles that shape our decisions and actions. They are the foundation upon which we build our lives. When we live in alignment with our values, we experience a sense of purpose and authenticity that cannot be found through external validation alone. Once we have identified our values, we can begin to set goals that are meaningful to us. These goals should be based on our own desires and aspirations, rather than the expectations of others. They should challenge us to grow and develop, while also bringing us a sense of joy and fulfillment. It is important to recognize that success is not a one-size-fits-all concept. What brings fulfillment to one person may not bring fulfillment to another. We must be willing to let go of the need for external validation and instead focus on what truly matters to us. Redefining success also means embracing the journey, rather than just the destination. Often, we become so focused on achieving a specific goal that we forget to enjoy the process of growth and learning along the way. When we redefine success, we recognize that the journey itself is just as important as the end result. This shift in mindset requires a level of self-awareness and honesty. We must be willing to confront our fears and insecurities, and to take responsibility for our own happiness and fulfillment. We must be willing to let go of the belief that success is something that happens to us, and instead recognize that it is something we create for ourselves. Redefining success also means being open to new possibilities and opportunities. When we let go of the narrow definition of success that society has created, we open ourselves up to a world of potential. We begin to see opportunities where we once saw obstacles, and we become more resilient in the face of challenges. Creating a personal definition of success requires a level of courage and vulnerability. It means being willing to stand up for what we believe in, even when it goes against the grain. It means being willing to take risks and to step outside of our comfort zones in pursuit of our dreams. Redefining success is not a one-time event, but rather an ongoing process. As we grow and evolve, our definition of success may change. We must be willing to reassess our values and goals regularly, and to make adjustments as needed. When we redefine success on our own terms, we create a life that is authentic, fulfilling, and aligned with our deepest desires. We experience a sense of purpose and meaning that cannot be found through external validation alone. We become the architects of our own lives, shaping our destiny based on what truly matters to us. Redefining success is not always easy, but it is always worth it. It requires a willingness to let go of societal expectations and to trust in our own inner wisdom. It requires a level of self-awareness and honesty that can be uncomfortable at times. But when we do the work to redefine success on our own terms, we create a life that is rich, meaningful, and deeply fulfilling. Chapter 3. The Power of Discomfort. Discomfort is often seen as something to be avoided, a feeling that we should steer clear of at all costs. We are conditioned to seek comfort, stability, and predictability in our lives. However, what if we challenge this notion and embrace discomfort as a catalyst for growth and personal development? When we push ourselves outside of our comfort zones, we create opportunities for learning and expansion. Discomfort is a sign that we are stretching ourselves beyond our current limitations, that we are taking on new challenges and exploring uncharted territories. It is in these moments of discomfort that we discover our true potential and capabilities. Think about a time when you took on a new challenge, whether it was learning a new skill, starting a new job, or moving to a new city. Chances are you felt a sense of discomfort and uncertainty in the beginning. But as you persevered and pushed through that discomfort, you likely found that you were capable of more than you ever imagined. Discomfort is not something to be feared, but rather something to be embraced. When we learn to lean into discomfort, we develop resilience, adaptability, and mental toughness. We become better equipped to handle the inevitable challenges and setbacks that life throws our way. However, embracing discomfort is not always easy. Our brains are wired to seek comfort and avoid pain, and stepping outside of our comfort zones can trigger feelings of anxiety and fear. It is important to recognize that these feelings are normal and not a sign of weakness. In fact, acknowledging and accepting these feelings is the first step in overcoming them. One way to embrace discomfort is to reframe it as an opportunity for growth. Instead of seeing discomfort as a negative experience to be avoided, try to view it as a chance to learn something new about yourself and the world around you. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this experience? How can I use this discomfort to become a better version of myself? Another way to embrace discomfort is to start small and gradually build up your tolerance. If the thought of taking on a big challenge feels overwhelming, break it down into smaller, more manageable steps. Celebrate each small victory along the way and use them as motivation to keep pushing forward. It is also important to surround yourself with supportive people who encourage you to step outside of your comfort zone. Seek out mentors, friends, and colleagues who challenge you to grow and who provide a safe space for you to explore new ideas and possibilities. Embracing discomfort does not mean that you have to take on every challenge that comes your way, or that you have to be constantly pushing yourself to the limit. It is important to find a balance between stepping outside of your comfort zone and taking care of yourself. Listen to your body and your intuition, and give yourself permission to rest and recharge when needed. When you learn to embrace discomfort, you open yourself up to a world of possibilities. You become more adaptable, resilient, and confident in your abilities. You start to see challenges as opportunities for growth and learning, rather than obstacles to be avoided. Discomfort is not something to be feared or avoided, but rather something to be embraced and celebrated. It is a sign that you are growing, evolving, and becoming the best version of yourself. So the next time you find yourself feeling uncomfortable, take a deep breath, lean into the discomfort, and trust in your ability to rise to the challenge. Chapter 4. Overcoming the fear of failure. Fear of failure is a common obstacle that holds many people back from pursuing their dreams and reaching their full potential. This fear can manifest in various ways, such as procrastination, avoidance, or self-sabotage. It can prevent us from taking risks, trying new things, and stepping outside of our comfort zones. The root of fear of failure often lies in our belief systems and past experiences. We may have been taught that failure is a sign of weakness, or that it reflects poorly on our character. We may have experienced criticism or rejection in the past, leading us to associate failure with pain and humiliation. However, it is important to recognize that failure is not a reflection of our worth as individuals. Failure is simply a part of the learning process, a necessary step on the path to success. Every successful person has experienced failure at some point in their journey. The difference is that they learned to reframe failure as a learning opportunity and used it as fuel to keep moving forward. Reframing failure requires a shift in mindset. Instead of seeing failure as a negative outcome to be avoided at all costs, try to view it as a valuable source of feedback and growth. When you experience a setback or make a mistake, ask yourself, what can I learn from this experience? How can I use this information to improve and do better next time? This shift in mindset can be challenging, especially if you have a history of negative self-talk or perfectionism. It is important to practice self-compassion and to remind yourself that everyone makes mistakes and experiences setbacks. Treat yourself with kindness and understanding, just as you would a good friend who is going through a tough time. Another key to overcoming fear of failure is to focus on the process rather than the outcome. When we become too attached to a specific result, we set ourselves up for disappointment and frustration. Instead, try to focus on the actions you can take in the present moment to move closer to your goals. Celebrate small victories along the way and use them as motivation to keep pushing forward. It is also important to surround yourself with supportive people who believe in you and your abilities. Seek out mentors, friends, and colleagues who encourage you to take risks and who provide a safe space for you to fail and learn. Avoid people who are overly critical or who discourage you from pursuing your dreams. Building resilience is another important strategy for overcoming fear of failure. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks and to keep moving forward in the face of adversity. To build resilience, focus on developing a growth mindset, practicing self-care, and cultivating a strong support system. Finally, it is important to take action in the face of fear. Fear of failure can be paralyzing, leading us to avoid taking risks or trying new things. However, the only way to overcome fear is to face it head-on. Start small and gradually build up your confidence by taking on increasingly challenging tasks. Celebrate each small victory along the way and use them as motivation to keep pushing forward. Overcoming fear of failure is not a one-time event, but rather an ongoing process. It requires a commitment to personal growth, a willingness to take risks, and a belief in your own abilities. By reframing failure as a learning opportunity, focusing on the process, building resilience, and taking action in the face of fear, you can break free from the grip of fear and unlock your full potential. Remember, failure is not the opposite of success, but rather a necessary step on the path to success. Embrace failure as a valuable source of feedback and growth, and trust in your ability to overcome any obstacle that comes your way. With persistence, dedication, and a growth mindset, you can achieve anything you set your mind to. Chapter 5. Cultivating a growth mindset. A growth mindset is a powerful tool for personal development and achieving success. Coined by psychologist Carol Dweck, a growth mindset is the belief that our abilities and intelligence can be developed and improved through effort, learning, and persistence. This is in contrast to a fixed mindset, which holds that our abilities and intelligence are static and cannot be changed. Adopting a growth mindset can have a profound impact on our lives. When we believe that we can grow and improve, we are more likely to embrace challenges, persist in the face of setbacks, and see failure as an opportunity for learning and growth. We become more resilient, adaptable, and open to new experiences. However, cultivating a growth mindset is not always easy. Many of us have been conditioned to believe that our abilities are fixed, and that we are either naturally good at something, or we are not. We may have experienced criticism or failure in the past, leading us to doubt our own potential for growth and improvement. The first step in cultivating a growth mindset is to become aware of our own beliefs and thought patterns. Pay attention to the way you talk to yourself and the messages you internalize about your abilities and potential. Are you quick to give up when faced with a challenge? Do you believe that you are not capable of improving in certain areas? These are signs that you may be operating from a fixed mindset. Once you have identified your own limiting beliefs, you can begin to challenge them. When you catch yourself thinking, "I can't do this," or "I'm not good enough," try to reframe those thoughts in a more positive and growth-oriented way. For example, instead of saying, "I can't do this," try saying, "I can't do this yet, but I can learn and improve with practice." Another key to cultivating a growth mindset is to embrace challenges and see them as opportunities for learning and growth. When we avoid challenges or give up easily, we miss out on valuable opportunities to stretch ourselves and develop new skills. Instead, try to approach challenges with a sense of curiosity and openness. Ask yourself, What can I learn from this experience? How can I use this challenge to grow and improve? It is also important to reframe failure as a natural part of the learning process. When we experience setbacks or make mistakes, it can be easy to fall into a negative spiral of self-doubt and criticism. However, failure is not a reflection of our worth or potential. It is simply feedback that we can use to adjust our approach and try again. To cultivate a growth mindset, try to view failure as a valuable source of information and an opportunity for growth. When you experience a setback, take a step back and analyze what went wrong. What can you learn from this experience? How can you use this information to improve and do better next time? Practicing self-compassion is another important aspect of cultivating a growth mindset. When we are hard on ourselves and engage in negative self-talk, we undermine our own potential for growth and improvement. Instead, try to treat yourself with kindness and understanding, just as you would a good friend who is going through a tough time. Finally, surround yourself with people who support and encourage your growth and development. Seek out mentors, friends, and colleagues who believe in your potential and who challenge you to step outside of your comfort zone. Avoid people who are overly critical or who discourage you from pursuing your dreams. Cultivating a growth mindset is an ongoing process that requires commitment, persistence, and a willingness to embrace challenges and learn from failure. By becoming aware of your own limiting beliefs, reframing challenges as opportunities for growth, practicing self-compassion, and surrounding yourself with supportive people, you can develop a growth mindset that will serve you well in all areas of your life. Remember, your abilities and intelligence are not fixed. With effort, learning, and persistence, you can grow and improve in ways you never thought possible. Embrace the power of a growth mindset and unlock your full potential for success and personal fulfillment. Chapter 6. The Danger of Comparison. In today's social media-driven world, it's easier than ever to fall into the trap of comparing ourselves to others. We scroll through our feeds and see carefully curated images of people's lives, their successes, and their seemingly perfect bodies, relationships, and careers. It's natural to feel a twinge of envy or self-doubt when we see others apparently thriving, while we struggle with our own challenges and insecurities. However, the truth is that comparison is a dangerous game that can lead to feelings of inadequacy, low self-esteem, and even depression. When we constantly compare ourselves to others, we set ourselves up for disappointment and dissatisfaction. We focus on what we lack rather than what we have, and we fail to appreciate our own unique strengths and talents. The problem with comparison is that it's rarely an accurate or fair assessment. We tend to compare our worst moments to others' best moments, our struggles to their successes. We don't see the hard work, the failures, and the setbacks that went into their achievements. We don't know the full story behind their seemingly perfect lives. Moreover, comparison can lead to a fixed mindset, where we believe that our abilities and potential are limited by what we see in others. We may think, I could never be as successful as them, or I'll never have a body like that, and so we don't even try. We become paralyzed by fear and self-doubt, and we miss out on opportunities to grow and improve. So how can we break free from the trap of comparison and cultivate a healthier, more productive mindset? The first step is to become aware of when we're engaging in comparison and to recognize the negative impact it has on our well-being. When we catch ourselves scrolling through social media and feeling envious or inadequate, we can take a step back and remind ourselves that what we see is not the full picture. We can also reframe comparison as an opportunity for inspiration and motivation. Instead of feeling threatened or discouraged by others' successes, we can choose to view them as examples of what's possible. We can learn from their strategies and tactics and use them to inform our own goals and plans. Another key strategy is to focus on our own progress and growth rather than comparing ourselves to others. We can set our own benchmarks for success and celebrate our own achievements, no matter how small they may seem. We can practice gratitude for what we have and what we've accomplished, rather than dwelling on what we lack. It's also important to surround ourselves with supportive, positive people who encourage us to be our best selves. We can seek out mentors and role models who inspire us and challenge us to grow, rather than those who make us feel inferior or inadequate. Finally, we can cultivate a growth mindset by embracing challenges and seeing failures as opportunities for learning and improvement. When we stop comparing ourselves to others and start focusing on our own progress and potential, we open ourselves up to a world of possibilities. The danger of comparison is that it can hold us back from reaching our full potential and living a fulfilling life. By becoming aware of when we're engaging in comparison, reframing it as an opportunity for inspiration and motivation, focusing on our own progress and growth, surrounding ourselves with supportive people, and cultivating a growth mindset, we can break free from the trap of comparison and embrace our own unique path to success and happiness. Chapter 7. Setting audacious goals. When it comes to achieving success and reaching our full potential, setting goals is essential. However, not all goals are created equal. To truly push ourselves beyond our comfort zones and accomplish great things, we need to set audacious goals that stretch our abilities and challenge us to grow. Audacious goals are those that seem almost impossible at first glance. They are the kind of goals that make us feel both excited and terrified at the same time. They require us to think big, dream boldly, and push ourselves far beyond what we thought was possible. The power of setting audacious goals lies in their ability to inspire and motivate us. When we set a goal that is truly challenging and meaningful, we tap into a deep well of intrinsic motivation that propels us forward. We become more focused, more disciplined, and more resilient in the face of obstacles and setbacks. However, setting audacious goals is not always easy. Many of us have been conditioned to play it safe, to set goals that are achievable and realistic. We fear failure and the disappointment that comes with not reaching our objectives. As a result, we often settle for less than what we are truly capable of. To overcome this fear and set truly audacious goals, we need to shift our mindset. We need to embrace the idea that failure is not the opposite of success, but rather a necessary part of the journey. We need to see challenges and obstacles as opportunities for growth and learning, rather than as threats to our ego or self-worth. One effective strategy for setting audacious goals is to use the SMART framework. SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. By ensuring that our goals meet these criteria, we can create a clear roadmap for success and hold ourselves accountable for progress. When setting audacious goals, it's important to be specific about what we want to achieve. Vague or general goals like be successful or get in shape are not particularly motivating or actionable. Instead, we need to define our goals in concrete, measurable terms. For example, earn a six-figure salary by age 35 inches, or run a marathon in under 4 hours. We also need to ensure that our goals are achievable, even if they seem daunting at first. This doesn't mean that we should limit ourselves or play it safe, but rather that we should break our goals down into smaller, more manageable steps. By focusing on progress rather than perfection, we can build momentum and confidence over time. Relevance is another key factor in setting audacious goals. Our goals should be aligned with our values, passions, and long-term vision for our lives. They should be meaningful and fulfilling, not just impressive or ego-driven. When we pursue goals that truly matter to us, we are more likely to stay committed and persevere through challenges. Finally, our goals should be time-bound, meaning that we set a specific deadline for achieving them. This helps to create a sense of urgency and accountability, and prevents us from procrastinating or losing focus over time. However, it's important to be realistic and flexible in our timelines, and to adjust as needed based on changing circumstances or new information. Setting audacious goals is not a one-time event. but rather an ongoing process of growth and self-discovery. As we achieve our goals and push ourselves to new heights, we may find that our vision for our lives expands and evolves. We may set even bigger and bolder goals, or pivot in a new direction altogether. The key is to remain open to possibility and to embrace the journey, even when it is difficult or uncertain. By setting audacious goals and pursuing them with passion and determination, we open ourselves up to a world of opportunity and fulfillment. In many ways, the pursuit of audacious goals is a reflection of our deepest values and aspirations. It is a statement of faith in ourselves and our potential, a commitment to living life on our own terms and making a meaningful impact on the world around us. So don't be afraid to dream big and set goals that scare you. Embrace the challenge and the discomfort that comes with pushing yourself beyond your limits. And remember, even if you fall short of your ultimate objective, the journey itself will have transformed you in profound and lasting ways. Chapter 8. Consistency and Accountability. Consistency and accountability are two of the most powerful tools we have for achieving our goals and creating lasting change in our lives. Without consistency, we struggle to make progress and build momentum. Without accountability, we lack the motivation and support we need to stay on track and overcome obstacles. When it comes to consistency, the key is to focus on small, daily actions that compound over time. Rather than trying to make massive changes all at once, we should aim to establish sustainable habits and routines that we can stick with for the long haul. This might mean committing to writing for 30 minutes every morning, going for a run 3 times a week, or setting aside time each day to learn a new skill. The power of consistency lies in its ability to create a sense of progress and forward momentum. When we take action on a regular basis, we begin to see results and build confidence in our ability to achieve our goals. We also develop a sense of discipline and resilience, which helps us to push through tough times and stay focused on what matters most. However, consistency alone is not enough. We also need accountability to ensure that we follow through on our commitments and stay motivated when the going gets tough. Accountability can come in many forms, from working with a coach or mentor to joining a supportive community of like-minded individuals. One effective way to create accountability is to share our goals and progress with others. When we tell someone else what we hope to achieve and ask for their support and encouragement, we create a sense of social pressure that can be incredibly motivating. We also open ourselves up to feedback and advice that can help us to refine our strategies and overcome obstacles. Another powerful form of accountability is self-monitoring. This involves tracking our progress and holding ourselves accountable for our actions on a daily basis. We might use a journal or spreadsheet to record our workouts, our writing output, or our progress towards a specific goal. By regularly reviewing our progress and assessing our performance, we can identify areas for improvement and make adjustments as needed. Accountability also requires a willingness to be honest with ourselves and others. When we fall short of our goals or struggle to maintain consistency, it can be tempting to make excuses or avoid responsibility. However, true accountability means owning our mistakes and failures, and using them as opportunities for growth and learning. To create a culture of accountability in our lives, we need to surround ourselves with people who will support and challenge us in equal measure. This might mean seeking out a mentor or coach who can provide guidance and feedback, or joining a mastermind group of peers who are working towards similar goals. By surrounding ourselves with positive, growth-oriented individuals, we create a powerful support system that can help us to stay on track and achieve our full potential. Ultimately, the key to consistency and accountability is to make them a non-negotiable part of our daily lives. We must prioritize our goals and commitments, even when life gets busy or challenging. We must be willing to show up day after day, even when we don't feel like it, or when progress is slow. This requires a shift in mindset from one of instant gratification to one of long-term growth and development. It means embracing discomfort and pushing ourselves outside of our comfort zones on a regular basis. It means being willing to put in the hard work and effort required to achieve our dreams, even when the payoff is not immediate. But the rewards of consistency and accountability are immeasurable. When we commit to showing up for ourselves and our goals every single day, we unlock a level of potential and possibility that we never knew existed. We develop the strength, resilience, and determination required to overcome any obstacle and achieve any dream. So if you want to escape the trap of mediocrity and live a life of purpose and fulfillment, start by focusing on consistency and accountability. Commit to taking small, daily actions that move you closer to your goals. Surround yourself with supportive, growth-oriented individuals who will challenge and encourage you along the way. And most importantly, never give up on yourself or your dreams. With consistency and accountability as your guides, there is no limit to what you can achieve.